Hi, my name is Monica Selesky, and welcome to the Sexy Vetting Podcast, where we talk about mind, body, soul, and your space. Jeremy is very interesting and amazing because he questions everything, and I love that. He just goes deep, and I don't know what to say. I think that's amazing, Jeremy. Tell them who you are.
I appreciate that. I love that introduction. It's always funny when you describe someone as interesting, because it's like that could be a very positive thing, and sometimes people are like, yeah, he's a little
this is
interesting.
Very positive.
Very positive.
No. I have to say the most interesting thing about a person is their mind.
Yeah.
You can meet someone and they're good looking, but then you talk to them, we're not aligned in the mind. But when you are aligned in the mind, that's like magic.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Jeremy's aligned with everyone who wants to be awakened, become awakened, and you know what? Live your best fulfilled life.
I love that.
But
I
this is the truth.
Well, I was actually thinking about this recently, about how like 90% of people are basically sleepwalking through life.
I agree with you.
If you think about it, a majority of people have been vaccinated, double boosted. They've been eating food, which is actually just poison their whole life, sprayed with glyphosate. They're working a job that they hate. They're not connected to nature. They're filled with childhood trauma that they've never healed from. This is a majority of people that...
It's like 99%.
Exactly. So that's why it's our responsibility to keep elevating ourselves so we can continue creating a life that feels most aligned and authentic, and we can hopefully help others do the same on this path.
You're here for the same. I'm here just to wake you up, mind, body, and soul. Live your best life. He's here for the same. It's like, why wouldn't they want to be just high on life instead of soothing their wounds with alcohol, drugs, sex?
Well, I mean, I think you're a beautiful example and embodiment because, listen, there's a lot of people in 2026 who are talking shit. They're like saying, hey, do this, do that. They're preaching, but they're not practicing.
They don't live the life they preach.
Exactly.
They're all on Instagram preaching this amazing, healthy life, and then you see them, they're not doing it.
So I think, walking into your space and you just feel the energy, right? And then
everything's energy.
And then you meet you and it's just like all positive vibrations. So I think that is also very important is, are your actions aligned with your aspirations?
100%.
And that's really what alignment is. And I'm doing my best to recognize the areas of my life where I'm out of alignment so I can work on them and improve them and hopefully just continue creating more coherence, because that's ultimately what it's about. I can say, hey, I want to manifest my soulmate and my future wife, but if I'm out 4 a.m. ripping lines of cocaine at the club, it's like...
I don't think you're going to manifest the right one.
Exactly. I might manifest something or someone, but it's probably not going to be the one that's aligned with my highest self. And that's what we're talking about is we're always aligning in our life. Like every moment we're creating alignment, but it's like, is this the actual alignment that I want to create?
Is it going like with us or it's aligning us craziness?
Chaos.
The
opposite of alignment, I feel like, is chaos. And there's so much chaos in the world right now, which is why it's even more important to get grounded and rooted and really just understand yourself at a higher level so you can take the necessary actions to create more health, wealth, harmony, abundance, love, etc. And it's really the beautiful thing about it, and I'm sure you would agree, is like it's a journey every single day.
You know what? It really is every single day. I tell people, every day I'm living, learning, and growing and passing it forward. Every day we learn to eat better, work out better, we read more books, we become more evolved. But I also believe that people need to know the world because the world is magic we live in. We can heal our own bodies, our thoughts, our words, our actions. It all creates magic. But nowadays, I wanted to ask you a question. Do you think people are actually waking up or just performing awareness? Because everybody, they're acting like they're aware, but they're really not aware.
Yeah, listen, I think there's always some level of performance, and it's really about checking in with yourself. And I see this so much, honestly, in the spiritual community. Exactly.
They say they're spiritual, but they're not really spiritual. They don't
Well,
practice the spiritual.
It's using spirituality as a mask. And this is one of the most common things that I personally see just happening.
And you're in that space. You see it probably all the time.
Yeah, I do see it. And listen, there's times where, like I mentioned, I've been out of integrity or out of alignment with my highest self. And I think the biggest...
But you're human. We're allowed to make a mistake.
That's what I think is so important, is accountability.
But you're accountable. You realize when you made the mistake and you change it.
Yeah, and it really comes back to, again, the more that I connect to God, the more that I realize the importance of humility. Humility is one of the most important qualities, in my opinion, for success, because it's understanding that you are not in control. God is in control.
This is so true.
And I've really realized, like, my biggest job every single day is to just have more trust in God. Because as long as I have more trust in the Creator and I just allow myself to be used as a vessel to channel positive energy and light, everything else will take care of itself. It's the moment that my ego gets in the way and it's like, oh no, I need to do this, or I need to do that. And I'm ignoring the whispers of my highest self, which is really just the whispers of God. So I think understanding I have this one life. I'm so grateful I was born a human being. Like, we literally could have been born spiders, rabbits,
or a cute
squirrels,
puppy.
Or a cute puppy arguably would be like...
No, I'm happy to be a human.
And that's one of the beautiful things.
Are we really all human? I thought they say we're mixed with some aliens.
I think there is probably some hybrid.
There's hybrids. I believe there's hybrids.
Well, then, like I said, 90% of people are NPCs. They're not. They're here, but physically.
They're not here.
They're
just walking. You see them. They're like, they'll be walking and they're crossing the street on their iPhone. They don't even look. They don't pay attention to anything. They're in their own world, like a zombie.
I'm curious for you. My question is, when did you really start tapping in to spirituality? Has it been a practice for you your entire life? Because, you know, a lot of people, you see it all the time in Miami, they have the material wealth, they have all of the nice things, but spiritually they're starving. Their soul is deprived of real nourishment. And you seem to have found this beautiful balance and harmony of both of these worlds. So I'm curious, like, what has been some of the cheat codes or the secrets of your success?
I mean, the one thing I'd say is discipline. I've worked out my whole life, so that keeps me on trail, keeps me with my business. And I've always been into your health is your wealth. That was always number one. From the beginning, I don't care if I had a client, I train every morning.
When did you start that?
I've been training. My mother put us 5 years old, ballet. And
wow.
then we went into the gym at 14 years old. It was the gym and weights, but it was always working out. Also, I think, you know, coming from a family, my mother's Colombian, she's like, make sure you look good, sleep on your back, cold water showers, read, learn. Then my father was all about the hustle. So it's like, my mother raised me to take care of yourself and love yourself. My father raised me to be independent. But I was always believed in the energy world. Some girl hit me up from the Instagram and says, oh my God, you're that same girl from when you were 16. My life was always about, let's work, let's have fun, let's be entertained. If I'm not entertained, I'm not doing it. Am I entertained talking to you? Yes, because you are so aligned what I believe in. More people need to follow him and listen to what he says, because it's all true. I read the research. Some people think, oh, it's all blah, blah. It's not. Yeah. You can read all the books and it's all in there. So I don't know. I think it was just the fact that I was healthy and worked out.
And it sounds like you had two parents that also put you on a path of success.
Oh, like, yeah, this is true. Yes.
Because that's also rare. I feel like I look around and, you know, I would say, I'm not sure the exact number, but you know, 60 to 70% of kids in America are growing up in single-family households. And I think that's a massive issue, especially when a kid doesn't have a male role model at home, you know? And that's the greatest gift. Like, a lot of people talk about white privilege. I personally think a much greater privilege than being born white is being born to two loving parents that do their best to raise you with good values. And that's rare. That's truly a rare commodity these days. And I'm very grateful as well for my parents and the way they brought me up. So I think it's important.
I don't, sometimes but I'm sure from before you were like this, like curious. I think for me, I'm a knowledge seeker. I want to know everything about the world. Like you keep reading, you realize you know nothing.
Exactly.
But it's so interesting that, I don't know, what turns me on is reading books, learning and becoming better and evolving. And it's like, you just pass it forward. Like if you want to make the world better, even if we change it little by little, you're on Instagram, awakening a lot of people, which I think to health, because most people aren't healthy. You represent your brand, like what you are, you exercise, your breath work, and all the amazing things that you do.
Well, what is awakening? For me, it is awakening to the truth and awakening to your potential. And
I like that.
There's many areas of my life where I have not awakened my fullest potential. Like I'm on that journey every day and I'm just recognizing, okay, I'm doing really good here, but these are areas that I need to put more work in.
But we're always working on ourselves.
Exactly.
That's the journey.
And I think another big responsibility that I want people to step into, and you're stepping into it as well, is awakening your voice. Because
speak your truth, be authentic. What I love about you, you say whatever it is.
I mean, listen, we live in a world that is increasingly being taken over by AI. You know, I even post some AI videos and people don't even know it's AI. And that's scary. That's very scary. So it's an opportunity to realize that
we don't know what we're listening to, right?
It's also, we need to lean into the human being aspect. I think we're just going to increasingly be craving real human connection. And even so much of the content you see on social media, it's like people reading off scripts and it's like very fabricated. And I don't know how I feel about it. I don't love it. And that's why I do my best not to spend a ton of time mindlessly scrolling. But every single person has a unique mission here. You know, everyone has their own soul blueprint. So once you recognize that and you recognize, hey, this is a unique gift I possess, you feel an obligation to share it. Because by not sharing it, you're essentially slapping God in the face, in my opinion.
But you're here for a reason. Purpose makes you happy. You want to be fulfilled. I think knowing your purpose, it's like, okay, I know what I have to do. This is what I'm here for. For me, it's transformation. I'm just here to make people happy, transform them to live their fullest life. The same as you.
How do you, if someone asks you, Monica, I'm lost, I'm confused, I don't know what my purpose is, what would you tell them?
First, we have to work on ourselves, like master ourselves. Of course, I'm so big into health and exercise. I'm going to tell them, let's go to the gym. Let's go to the beach and ground. I want to first get you healthy where you can even stop and think and say, what do I want to do with my life? And find out like what you like what makes you, as I always say, I live for passion, love, and desires. I'm passionate to wake up every morning. I desire to do it and I love to do it. So I feel like everyone has to have that fire inside. Find the fire inside. I mean, I'll hang out with you and I'm going to talk to you, ask you what you like, what you don't like, what excites you in life. I love like talking to you on the podcast. That excites me. I love the beach. I like work. I love connecting with people. My biggest thing is like, I'm a master connector. I love connecting people and they connect, they grow, they share, they get inspired. Same thing what you do.
Yeah.
Like you're on your podcast with like, I don't know, who is a person that you interviewed that just made you stop and think and change something that you did? Because you've interviewed like the most amazing people.
That's a good question.
I mean, there's
Who
so
made
many.
Me stop
and think what you're doing and say, you know what? I have to change this.
To be honest with you, it happens at least once with every single person.
Okay.
Because someone will say something and I'm just like very...
The aha moment.
And I'm just very inspired by, even like this last guy, my friend Xavier, who I brought on, he will get into such a deep flow state during our conversations where he is just a pure vessel. And I was like, wow. Because I know that feeling.
So he's getting those downloads and then you're getting them.
Yes. And I'm like, this is why I need to spend more time creating and recording, because he's just like in the flow state of things. And then, you know, talking, I always have a lot of respect for people that have created success in business and entrepreneurship, and they've also created success with their families, and they've raised their kids in a really beautiful way, and they have healthy relationships, because you oftentimes see people who have sacrificed all of those things to get to the material wealth. And that's not really success at the end of the day. So I'm inspired most by people that have found a way to really bring all of these things to life. And that shows me that it's possible.
I mean, I think everything's possible, but when someone says, what is success? I'm going to say it's inner peace. And so many people work for all these material things that you don't really need, Sometimes it just comes. But like success, at least for me, is I just want to wake up happy every morning and surround myself with people that don't stress me out, and just work, go, meet people, connect, and I don't know, sleep at night.
Did you have a time where you were like consuming a lot of material things and then you realized like, oh wow, maybe this isn't really as fulfilling as I thought it was?
Actually, I was never, even when I was like 20 years old, my friends are buying Chanel. I guess it was maybe $4,000 back in the day, Chanel. I was just buying like Ferragamo, which was $500. I wasn't spending on expensive clothes. I felt like, why do I need to? I'm 20 years old. Like, I never was like materialistic. I'm all about value for money. So for me, purses don't excite me. I don't care. Like if you said, Monica, we could go shopping in Bal Harbor, or we can go to the beach and have a deep conversation about life, I'm going to say deep conversation.
Wow.
I'm not a shopper. So material things never excited me. Yeah, it's nice to have a nice car and a nice house. For me, your home is so important because it's my vision board in the morning and my healing home at night. So no, even nowadays, like I told you about they're $29 from Amazon, my pants. So it's like, I don't like this. I only spend on what I like. Clothing, yeah, I want nice clothing, but like, no, I don't need label brands and everything.
Yeah.
So I was never into that material world.
I'm curious to know what other questions you have there for me.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to ask you,
see.
What's something you believe right now that most people would instantly reject?
What's something I believe right now that most people would instantly reject? All right. Let's see. That's a great question. Wow.
Oh, I like that. Making him think. Everything is about the mind.
I would say, so obviously, I was pretty outspoken when the vaccine started coming out. People called me all sorts of names.
I love that though. I'm not vaccinated. No one I know is vaccinated.
So I think, listen, this is probably a hot take, but I'm going to say it.
Say it. Just go for it. Be authentic. That's who you are. Jeremy Awakens. Awaken us. Come on.
I think that unvaccinated sperm is going to be one of the most valuable.
That's 100% true, but you're right about that.
It's going to be one of the most valuable currencies 5-10 years down the road. Like people are talking about Bitcoin now, even if it's had a little rough patch. But in 5 to 10 years, women are going to be searching. They're like, I need to find an unvaccinated husband.
There's Jeremy Awakens.
And I'm going to be like, sorry, y'all, I'm taken. I got like 6 kids already. No, but I think that's one hot take. Unvaccinated sperm is going to be one of the most valuable currencies in the next decade. All right, mark my words.
I happen to agree with you because it's a healthier body. Like, who's not going to want unvaccinated?
I know, but it's still a little, controversial. Anytime you talk about sperm and unvaccination,
okay, but you're controversial. Together. We like this. This is
what
we expect from you.
I would say, obviously, I'm a fan of psychedelics and mushrooms. Yes. I think when used with intention,
the right dosage.
Correct. Mushrooms can be the most powerful healing medicine in the world. Throw out the antidepressants, throw out the Adderall, throw out the alcohol, throw out all of these toxic poisons that are actually just further disconnecting people from their body and from their soul.
Damaging your body.
Exactly. And the beautiful thing about mushrooms, they came from nature. They were here before humans. And I believe that God put everything here for a reason.
100%.
Like, literally everything has a purpose. And listen, I don't know what the purpose
They put you here to let them know that you're not vaccinated and that you're single and that you might, they might want to come.
There's a word in Judaism, in Hebrew, it's called like shidduch. And it means like you're someone that sets up.
I always do that, but I do that. I always match people up.
It's a big thing. Like it's a huge mitzvah if you actually...
If whatever good act, every act of love you do, come on, it turns time back. It rebuilds your DNA. Your telomere is going to keep you looking good, Jeremy.
I'm ready for that.
This is why he looks good.
So I would say, those are two Those are two truths that I think some people might disagree with.
I got more questions for you.
Let's do it. Yeah, I like these questions.
Okay,
I mean,
come on, let's go.
I like the combination of just free flowing in conversation and then.
But I got to ask you some of these questions because
Exactly.
I have to make him think. He already thinks enough.
These are
So,
really good ones.
What's the truth that people defend that you think is actually false?
Wow. I don't know if you probably stay away from politics, right?
I do, but say whatever you want. This is
Are
free.
you, I think.
You're going to ask me who I'm for?
Yeah, or who you voted for. I think.
I don't vote.
Okay.
So say what you want. I don't take sides.
Let me see. What is something that most people think is true?
What's the truth people defend that you think is actually false? It could be politics.
Well, listen, we're in a space right now, obviously, you know all about it. You know, these peptides are becoming very popular. And I think it's a good thing. And like most good things, there's a lot of things to be concerned about. The most popular peptides right now that are going crazy are these GLP-1s, like Ozempic.
Yes.
Now there's one like retatrutide.
So what do you think about the peptides?
So I think overall, peptides are a much better solution than the typical pharmaceuticals because they're naturally occurring.
100%. They're in your body.
They, at least right now, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of negative side effects, but that might change 5 years from now. But there's so many people taking these GLP-1s like Ozempic, like retatrutide, who I don't think should be taking them. Like, if they actually just had the discipline of going to the gym and eating healthy, I think they would be good. Now, with that being said, I do think these are also beneficial for certain types of people. Like, if you're someone who just really has a slow metabolism and you've struggled to lose weight and you're doing the right things and it's still like not getting you the results
you want. You want that six-pack for the summer.
Exactly.
They want your six-pack.
But it shouldn't just be for the summer. That's the thing.
I know, I'm joking about that.
No, but that's the thing.
A six-pack for every day and every night.
I think we live, especially now, we live in a world that's addicted to quick results and instant gratification.
So true.
And it's like, you didn't build this home in a day, a week, a month, a year. It took decades.
Exactly.
And that is the thing that...
It's the slow build.
Yeah, it's like, again, it's really being able to withstand your ego's desire for instant gratification and instead pursue a path of long-term fulfillment, which is challenging. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting to see like where the peptide space is in 5 to 10 years. There's a lot of momentum right now, though. It's crazy.
It's hot. Peptides are hot right now.
So hot right now.
Another question I have for you. What's the biggest illusion that people are living in that feels completely normal? This is easy for you. What's their biggest illusion? And I think it's normal.
I think the biggest illusion that people are living in is working a 9-to-5 job in a fucking office, in a cubicle, and staring at a screen and being completely disconnected from nature and disconnected from their purpose. Like, it's crazy that we've bought into this narrative of going to school our entire lives, then getting a couple $100,000 in debt during college, and then settling for a job that we don't even really love. Like, it's crazy how many people go down that path thinking it's the right path, thinking it's the normal path, thinking it's the path that's going to get
it's what they told us.
External validation.
It's what they indoctrinated us to.
And at the end of the day, the school system was literally designed to create employees.
Enslavement.
It is.
It's enslavement.
I'm glad you used that word.
You work, then they promote alcohol, so you go out and you drink, and then they're tired and they keep repeating it, and it goes on and on and on. So they just created enslavement. They need to create freedom.
It's crazy that you just said that.
That's why.
Do you remember what you said?
Sometimes we're robots, enslavement. They put us in enslavement to like just work. Then they tempt us.
Yes.
And they think that you need that to be happy. Guess what? You don't.
Keep going. Keep going, Monica.
But it's true. You know what would make them happy, Jeremy? If they would get up in the morning, do a prayer, do a meditation, go walk on the beach, go look at the clouds outside and just think that life is limitless and boundless. And you know what? And don't get bought into the material things.
This is what I thought of.
Tell me, what'd you think of?
Okay, first of all, I think it's what you said is so true about like enslavement. So we're finishing up Passover tonight, actually, like one of the biggest Jewish holidays. And it's all about the Jewish people escaping Egypt.
I saw something you posted about you're getting up at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
success and soulmate.
Yeah.
I like that.
So anyways,
I like that.
So Passover is all about escaping Egypt and creating liberation and freedom in our lives. And then you have to take a step back and ask yourself, okay, thousands of years ago, the Jewish people escaped Egypt. They escaped slavery. But each one of us today in 2026 is still a slave to something, right?
We're robots.
I might be a slave
robots.
to external validation. You might be a slave to material things. They might be a slave to drugs and alcohol. They might be a slave.
Exactly.
So one of the biggest valuable questions that we can ask ourselves is, hey, where am I still enslaved? Where am I still limited and not able to break free? And once we actually have that honest conversation with ourselves, then we can actually take the action steps to liberate ourselves. And that's what it's all about. Maybe I ask myself and I'm like, fuck, man, I feel like I'm still a slave to emotional eating or whatever it may be. It's like, okay, well, how can I build steps in the process so that isn't an issue for me? That's a big part of this. And like you were mentioning, if you wanted to destroy a society in 2026, this is what I would do.
Take away their phone? Just kidding.
No, this is what I would do, okay? Let's say you completely want to...
what would you do? I want to hear this.
Okay.
Let's do it.
If you want to destroy a society in 2026, you feed the children Adderall, a methamphetamine.
Which they give that in the schools. What they do is they tell them, oh, what is that? The hyper kids, they want to drug you.
ADHD,
yes,
right?
ADHD.
So again, if you want to destroy a society in 2026, this is what you do. You tell all of the 7, 8-year-old kids that they can't focus, they have ADHD, you feed them Adderall, right? You destroy their dopamine centers. Then you give 13, 14-year-old girls birth control, which completely messes up their hormones and disconnects them from their entire essence, right? We're going to spray all the crops with glyphosate and destroy our food supply. Then we're going to normalize alcohol, and we're just going to make it available everywhere, right? We're going to glorify this liquid poison. Then, if anyone's feeling depressed, we're going to hand them an antidepressant. Very simple. And then, everyone on top of that, we're going to give them this supercomputer that they can do. They literally have the world at their fingertips. There's more power in this device than Ronald Reagan had as the president of the United States just 35 years ago. That is how you destroy a society. You give them this phone, you give them social media, they become a slave to the quick hits of dopamine, and then
they're all disconnected.
You take a step back and you're like, oh shit, all those things are already happening, like you said. And that is why this work is so important, because we're set up to fail.
And no connection, no human connection. I just feel like right now, people are walking around like zombies, like all the time.
Well, that's what we were saying at the beginning.
And they're
like
robots. Everyone's a robot.
Well, that is, in that, I can, I've had moments, where I've had my own mental health challenges, and I felt not like the best version of myf, right?
But you're human. It's okay. You're allowed to feel.
No, of course.
It's allowed to be a rainy day in your mind.
But what I like to do is reflect. I'm like, okay, what's the root cause? Why am I feeling this way? And a lot of times, it's this sense of disconnection. It's this sense of disconnection from everything. And it's this feeling of like being alone and, trying to do all this stuff by myself without any support. And then I'll go outside and I'll literally just like jump in the ocean and disconnect from my phone for 2 hours. And it almost always
works.
Solves the problem. Like the sense of connection. And that's why getting out in nature is so important, and jumping in the ocean and taking off your shoes. It's like, then you actually feel it.
You feel it. It changes your state and it heals your body. What else do you want? And all these things are free and people don't do it. Why?
Well,
because they're robots.
And this is actually probably going to trigger some Jewish people who follow me, because this is a big reason why I was turned off from religion for most of my life. Because, all of these things are being preached at us. Hey, do this thing, makes you a good person, do that thing. And then I look at a lot of the people who are saying, do this, do that, and they seem very unhealthy. They seem not connected to themselves.
They're not aligned.
And for me, I think the greatest way to connect with God, to connect with the Creator, is going outside and experiencing all of his creations. Like, the same God that created the sun, the moon, the ocean, the mountains, also thought that the world needed one of us too.
But I also feel that the world is designed, it disconnects us.
Yeah.
It only promotes everything that lowers our frequency and that disconnects us from God. I agree with you, said. I think that religion was created in different sectors of the world to control us, but I do believe in one God. And I don't remember, my thing is like, do unto others as you want them to do unto you, the boomerang effect. Whatever I put out is what I get back. So I like what you said. That's like 100% true. But I still have more questions for you.
I'm ready for it all.
Okay, let's go. Do you think people want truth or just validation?
Mostly just validation. Yeah.
I think men have two wolves, the lust wolf and the ego wolf, which you mentioned. If they don't control the lust wolf, things get messy and things happen. And then I think sometimes when they want too much and it's all about the money, they're not that happy. Like you see these ultra rich people, they have everything. Why aren't you happy?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like this vicious cycle, I think, that is, I'm going to get the money and get the nice things so I can
be happy,
have more self-worth to attract my soulmate or whatever you want to call it. And oftentimes you're attracting someone for the wrong reasons.
They're always attracting for the wrong reason.
And especially in Miami, I see it. Like, it's very easy to get consumed by that world. And I think as men, it's like we're going to always have that desire to like chase something big, whether it's chase a big goal, whether it's like chase a woman that we desire, whatever it is. And it's just like you said about having the awareness and not allowing it to consume you too much. Because the more that I experience life and the older that I get, by far the most important thing that every single man needs to learn is how to control their sexual energy and use it as a positive force rather than a destructive force. And that's one of the most challenging things to learn, but it's so damn important because once you actually can lean into that, then it's not like, oh my gosh, I need to like go watch porn or I need to go find someone to have sex with. It's like you can work through the energy and use it towards something very impactful and positive, whether it's building a business, going to the gym, whatever. And I think there's a lack of like that teaching. It's something that I want to kind of step more into.
I agree with 100% because and also when you connect with someone, you're on a sexual level, you're trading energy. So like imagine you're super aligned and you get with a girl that's complete opposite of you. It's not alignment, and then it's the energy.
It's crazy. Yeah, the more I learn about all of that stuff, the more it's just like it forces you to be.
Has that changed your perspective
1,000%
on the type of woman you're looking for?
Not the type of woman I'm looking for, like to spend my life with. No, I'm like, but it changes how you move throughout the day because it's like, you might be somewhere and there might be an opportunity to just like have fun, and it's.
So do you think about it now more?
Of course. I think about literally I think about it more now than ever before, but you don't want to let it parent it.
No. Has it stopped you from approaching certain girls because they're not aligned with you?
It's definitely prevented me from doing things that I would have done in the past.
So
for sure.
Gentlemen, follow him and you're going to be more selective.
I mean, listen, I'm just on the journey too. I'm definitely not perfect, but I would say even like, it's very common in Miami and Europe and wherever, like you meet someone and you hug them, you kiss them on the cheek. I'm like, now I'm even second guessing that. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to hug this person. I've heard some things. I don't know if I want to hug them. Like on my podcast, I had Naomi, Astrotora, who's like an amazing Kabbalist and astrologer. And she was talking about how like in Kabbalah, each bodily fluid has its own energy. And she was saying like saliva, so when you kiss someone, it's actually like a really powerful energy exchange. And
so what if you're both good, what's going to happen? An explosion of excitement?
I think it works in both ways. If you're like with someone who's, doing the right things, they're taking care of their body, they're genuinely like a good person, I think it's going to elevate you.
I would agree 100%.
But it's just like, you see it, and like there's so much promiscuity in the world.
This is true.
And it's like, I think the feminist movement has a big role to play in that. I'd love to hear your opinion, actually. I think the feminist movement has been one of the most destructive social movements for the entire world. I think it's completely ruined the way that women relate to work, the way that women relate to their bodies, the way that women relate to men. It's created this expectation that they need to hustle and grind and work like a man, and that they need to be independent and they don't need anyone. And it's also brought on birth control and all of these women who are pumping themselves with these chemicals, disconnecting them from their hormones. Some of these women that I talk to, like, they haven't had a period in like a year because of birth control, and then they try to get off of it and they have crazy breakouts on their skin and their hormones are out of...
They can't get pregnant.
And it's sad because that's exactly what the feminist movement want. That's what all of these like evil people who want to have more control.
More disconnection, though.
Exactly.
And then they're making, first of all, the man, he should be the caretaker. Open the car door. He should be the supporter of the family. I believe women can work to have a sense of purpose and, to do something, but the guy has to be the guy.
Yeah.
They made the women all masculine.
Well,
they made them too much about the money, and that's not going to make you happy.
It's crazy too, because in Miami, I see this a lot, and I didn't really understand it at the time. Like, I would see an attractive woman, but I would feel like if I was next to her, like I would feel no attraction to her. Like, she's a very pretty girl, but like zero arousal. And it was because they were just like very in that masculine energy. But if you think about it, this is exactly what the elites in control want. This is what the feminist movement wanted. This is the evil that is really in control, if you think about it, because the biggest thing that we are struggling with in America right now is Western values. They're trying to attack the family dynamic. They're trying to attack young kids and feed them Adderall. They're letting 7 or 8 year old kids in California change their gender because they're a little confused. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this is the biggest danger that we're facing right now, is these woke, leftist, Marxist, Islamists who are doing everything to attack Western civilization. And what makes America great is like Western values, Christian country, family dynamic. And that's what they're trying to attack. That's why we need to just speak up, because, it's a lot of evil forces at play all at once that coincide with each other. And unless you're really awake and paying attention, you won't understand. You'll just think that this is all part of a normal existence. But we're experiencing problems that didn't exist 50 years ago.
But I believe if you talk to anyone at the end of their life and ask them what's most important, they're going to tell you family and their children. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have a family, or I don't know, even if they're just your friends, it's the human connection. It's like
1,000%. I mean, the amount of men that I've heard that aren't able to actually have a child is also insane, right? So you have this crazy combination of women who have been brainwashed by the feminist movement, taking birth control their whole lives. They're now want to start a family, but maybe they can't.
They can't. I see a lot of girls in their 30s, mid-30s, they can't have children. I think it's because of all the birth control, all the things they do to their body. Everything is like out of sync.
And then you have men whose testosterone has never been lower, who are completely disconnected, with whether it's eating toxic food, whether it's drinking excessive alcohol, whether it's taking pharmaceuticals, whether it's being disconnected from their purpose, whatever it is. But now you have...
Both of them have a problem. So,
yeah.
And I also feel in relationships, you talk to a lot of people and they're single. There's so many single people, girls and guys, they complain about it. I think just the whole world's becoming disconnected on their phone and the computer. I think there's just there's like this sense of,
there's like just a massive lack of commitment, I think, you know?
100%. Nobody would like, I saw something the other day and it's so true. If you want to make it work with someone, you can make it work with someone if you both become aligned.
Yeah.
So if you have to decide, do I want to be committed to that person? Of course, you're going to see something else that maybe you like better, but if you make a commitment with that person, you make it work with them.
That's why it's becoming a more and rare, like my parents have been married for 48 years. Like,
wow.
I don't think that's just becoming almost.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly. It's crazy. Yeah. It's special when you do see it. And there's actually
I still have more questions for you.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready.
How did you train yourself to think differently, or did it just happen? Like, what was the aha moment that you had that you became like this?
I know that I have so much potential inside of me, and I don't want to squander the potential. And I'm squandering potential right now. There's so much growth that I'm in the process of making. I feel like even in the last month, like I've learned so many valuable lessons, and I'm just doing my best, honestly, to stay grounded, stay humble, and stay focused. Was there like one moment? I think it's just been a series of events. Plant medicine in 2018 obviously opened me up when I went to Peru for ayahuasca. But even before that, just pursuing a path as like a personal trainer and like not following the normal 9-to-5 narrative, I think forced me to grow in other ways. That's the thing. When you're an entrepreneur and when you're building something,
you go different ways all the time.
The only way you can grow anything, whether it's a podcast, a business, is by growing yourself. And that's why it's hard for me to sometimes like relate to people who work a 9-to-5, because like they get off of work and then they go to happy hour and like their whole life is built around this job that they're not even necessarily passionate about. And there's a lack of growth internally.
That people don't want to grow. Like you ask them, do you read books? No. So what do? They just live the basic. They work, you're right, go to happy hour, go out at night, and they repeat the cycle. And they never, I feel, take the time to have reflection and say, what am I doing with my life? Because again, it's that enslavement. We keep going. It's so fast.
The friends thing is interesting because I see it a lot. Like, one thing that I've always done is, and I wish I would have done a better job of actually like keeping some of my friends from like back in the day who I want to always surround myself with good people. And as soon as I sense that someone is not really
aligned,
but like, listen, even if someone like is on a different path than me and I like know they're a good person and we have a history and I genuinely love them, like I still am going to be friends with them. But I'm just going to kind of distance myself a little bit. Like, I'm not going to prioritize responding to any of your messages. Obviously I wish you the best, but I'm going to focus on kind of my closest
because
circle.
You need to grow. Like, depending upon the people you're with, I feel like the right people open your mind more, they help you grow, and it just takes you to that next level.
It's so true about you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Do.
Like, and I think it's very easy to just stay close and continue spending time with the people that you've been vibing with for the last 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, and it's not to say that you should just like leave your old friends. It's just about recognizing, hey, does being in this person's presence make me a better version of myself? Am I inspired to grow around this person? Or is this person kind of just going through the motions? Are they gossiping? Are they kind of just not really doing anything meaningful with their life? Then you have to ask yourself the question, okay, do I want to surround myself with those type of people? And, this is something like I was seeing this girl, and it's a conversation I had with her often. I was like, listen, I love your friends. I think they're amazing. I just don't think they're growth oriented. And I think that's also keeping you a little stagnant. And I know you have so much potential. And it's a hard conversation because it's not like, don't just say fuck you to your friends.
No, but you did the right thing because you're helping her grow. You're here to make people grow. But
ideally, yeah.
Everything you said, I agree with in the friends. Do you think people are still being controlled just in more sophisticated ways?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it a lot today. Like, the control runs so deep. And it's happening in ways that we don't even know. Like, we're completely unaware to the power that China has on our day-to-day life, right? We are being controlled by so many different dark forces, whether it's the pharmaceutical industry, whether it is certain governments, like for instance, California. They approved a bill last year that basically made it illegal for a teacher to tell a parent that their kid was going to transition genders. So I could have a 9-year-old kid, and if that 9-year-old's teacher found out that they wanted to change genders, that teacher couldn't even let me know.
Wow.
How ridiculous is that? That's the type of darkness we're facing. And again, it's all an attack on Western values and healthy family dynamics. That's what they're trying to attack. And if you see most of the people who are like protesting these things and who are, hate Trump and they hate Elon Musk, they usually have multiple pronouns in their Instagram bio. They have blue hair. They have a lot of confusion happening in their brain. That's the world we're living in. And again, nothing against blue hair. I dyed my hair blonde not so long ago. I'm all about self-expression, truly. But we have to ask ourselves the questions, like, who is controlling us? And usually the answers go way deeper than you could imagine.
What's something that people are doing every day that's quietly working against them?
What is something
that people doing every
checking their
day?
phone first thing in the morning, I think, is the worst thing that you can do. And it's especially when you like have a lot going on your phone, whether it's like friends, family. I have a lot of friends in Israel right now, so I want to constantly check in on them and see how they're doing with the war happening. Social media, all of these things. When you start your day off checking your phone and you get into that loophole of being reactive and you're now just taking care of other people's problems, you're scrolling mindless, you're completely disconnected from the present moment. And that actually, Monica, is, I think, the biggest thing, the biggest danger that is destroying our society is a lack of presence.
The biggest form of love is presence.
Yeah.
And people with friends, with anyone, you're absolutely right. No one's present.
And it's crazy. It's crazy because all of the things are designed to keep us away from the present moment. Like the phone, if it's so interesting and it's so symbolic, right? Like just the brand Apple, it has this apple with, a bite out of it.
Adam and Eve.
Exactly.
Adam and Eve
And this
bit the apple.
is literally
You're biting the apple.
This is like representing the modern day Apple, the modern day sin of us being so addicted to quick hits of dopamine and instant gratification that we're constantly on our devices. Like, I unexpectedly didn't have a phone for 5 days a week ago, and it was very frustrating because I do a lot of communication and work on my phone, but it was also a blessing because I was like, oh wow, this is how I'm still enslaved. This is my inner Egypt, right? So it's like checking your phone first thing in the morning, at least create like 30 minutes where you hydrate, you get sunlight, maybe you journal, you do a little breath work, whatever it is that makes you feel good. Those are the things that I think are gonna create momentum the rest of the day.
Do you think awakening isolates people or elevates them? I'll tell you my thought. Tell me yours.
I think it's both.
Yes.
It's both. Because when you awaken, like I mentioned, you're gonna realize the different people and the different things that are no longer in alignment with your life. So yeah, that might mean removing or cutting off certain relationships that don't serve you. And that might feel isolating, especially if you're pursuing this path and the people around you are staying the same. It's one of the hardest things because it's like, you think there's almost something wrong with you. You're like, what's wrong with me? Like,
you don't connect. It's almost like I feel like it's in Adam and Eve when she bit the apple. It's like all the knowledge was there and she woke up. And it's like the more books you read and the more you just know the world more, you see everything clear. You can like read right through the person. It's crazy. Your energy, your level, it just gets higher, your awareness. So I agree. It's both. But is it worth it? 100%.
Facts.
It's just so worth it. I think everyone should become awakened and learned. Who cares if you get a little isolated? You just become happier. It's like the magic pill. It's the healthy magic pill that keeps you high every single day. So now, a couple last questions for you, Mr. Jeremy Awakens. Do you ever feel misunderstood or do not care anymore?
Yeah, I feel misunderstood all the time. Like every day, every single day. Every single day I feel misunderstood.
But you don't care like me, you don't care.
Yeah, I generally at this point, I care less. There are times where it's still frustrating. Like, yeah, I feel like there's multiple ways that there's always assumptions being made. And yeah, I think that's actually one of the things I've recently worked on letting go, is the need to be understood, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I genuinely think if you
don't
asked,
explain yourself. I don't explain anymore. I don't care. I just.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where people say like, I give zero fucks. That's not completely true. You probably do care. You should care about what people think, especially the people closest to you, right? Being understood having the need to be understood is a very dangerous game, because then you will almost try to manipulate certain situations to compromise your own values so someone else can understand you, which you never really want to do. I think if you ask the 10 people who spend the most time with me, like who I am, yo, is Jeremy cool? Is he a nice guy?
Who are you? Let's ask that question. Yeah. Who is Jeremy?
I don't know. Annalisa spends a lot of time with me. She might be able to answer better. Genuinely, I feel like I mentioned earlier in the conversation, right now, I feel like my main obligation is to deepen my connection to God. And the more that I go down that path, the more I realize I feel more at peace, and I'm less reactive, and I'm a better person to myself and to others. So that's my main focus right now. I feel like all of the business stuff and the relationship stuff and everything will be a manifestation of me just nurturing that relationship. So that's what I'm focused on now. I'm just a dude who's doing the best he can to be better every day and treat others with respect and make a positive impact in the world.
So we already talked about how the way you are has changed your relationships romantically. So you look for someone that you're more aligned with.
Right.
And you think twice. He thinks twice now.
Right.
Before he sees that hot girl, he looks at her and says, wait a minute, are we aligned?
Yeah.
But it's okay, you're human. So sometimes, like Adam and Eve, the temptation can get in.
Yeah. Miami's a very rough place.
What is Miami? I say Miami's the hottest, sexiest city in the USA. It's divine temptation. Every candy you want is here. Women, boats, cars, everything's here in Miami. So I think it's hard for people sometimes. They have to, they're human, they can make mistakes, but we're on this journey living. So we had best conversation with Jeremy. I mean, I think everyone should be awakened. Follow Jeremy. How do they follow you?
Follow me, Jeremy.Awakens, pretty much everywhere. Listen to the Jeremy Awakens podcast. Monica, this was super special. I feel like more energized after the conversation. And by the way, I think that's one of the best ways to actually know if like a friend or whoever it is that you're spending time with actually.
If you're aligned, like
yes.
I believe in what he says, so I'm aligned.
It's like, how do you feel after an hour with them? Do you feel like, oh my God, woo, that was exhausting? Or do you feel like, wow, I'm inspired, like, let's go, let's go work out, let's build something, let's create. Like, that's how I feel right now.
Well, great.
So I'm excited.
Well, let's see what we can create with peptides, sexy bedding, and mushrooms.
Sexy bedding, mushrooms, peptides coming together, awakening the world. Let's go, baby.